In order to learn something, you have to first become aware of what it is that you want to learn. That's why step one is awareness for us. If you don't know what it is you want to learn, then how can you expect to learn it? Our minds are bombarded with information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It is nonstop. It is constant. We have over 50,000 thoughts a day, psychologists tell us. Wow, that's exhausting. So you first have to become aware of what it is that you really want to learn. Let's use a quick example. Let's say that you want to learn how to become a better basketball player. And on day one, you really have no idea how to become a better basketball player. You really don't know the rules, anything. So your awareness is very low. And let's have our yellow dot in the center of our blue dot here represent our awareness. So on day one of the learning process, we first just become aware that we want to actually learn how to become a better basketball player. So as you make that decision, you then start to become more and more aware of some of the details. So day 2 and day 3, you actually go to the store and you buy a basketball and you pump it up and you all of a sudden start to learn how to dribble and you start to learn how to shoot by watching some tutorials online or videos or whatever it may be. And so your awareness grows even more. And that's represented now by the medium-sized dot. And as you can see, your results are getting better because your awareness is getting more and more. So let's say now, after a week of understanding and watching tutorials about basketball or learning about basketball however you want to, your awareness then becomes even greater. You're now able to make layups. You're now able to shoot jump shots. You're now able to do so many different things while playing basketball, and your awareness has really, really grown. You now know that there's 5 players on the court for one team and there's 5 players on the court for the other team. You now know that there are different rules for professional and there's different rules for collegiate and there's different rules for high school basketball. So as you can see, awareness is crucial. When you first start, you have a very low level of awareness, but as you keep learning, your awareness gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the more you become aware, the more you're able to absorb and the more you're able to learn as well. Now let's discuss a little bit of neuroscience and how your brain actually works when it comes to learning. I was able to do some of my own basic research on Wikimedia and Wikipedia. So, if you simply just search neurosciences, neurons, and dendrites, you're going to get a lot of great information and very similar information that I was able to find, if not exact information that we're going to be discussing here. So what I want for you to understand is that you were born with billions of brain cells, and these brain cells are called neurons. These brain cells, as seen in our picture here to the right, are composed of axons, nerve endings, dendrites, and a cell body. Dendrites are like branches from a tree. They can grow from the cell that they are attached to, but that's it. They can't just magically spring off by themselves. Kind of like branches of a tree. You wouldn't just see branches in the middle of nowhere. Now what happens is the more that you learn, the more your dendrites expand and grow. Learning is the growth of your dendrites. So how do we grow our dendrites so that we are able to learn better and be able to learn more information more efficiently? In order to grow your dendrites, you need to practice or do the thing you are learning a lot. Pretend your dendrites are muscles. How do you build up muscles? Well, in order to grow your muscles, you would probably go to a gym or a weight training facility, and after months and months of weight training, you would see that your muscles would get bigger. That's exactly how your brain and your dendrites work. The more that you use them in the particular thing that you're trying to learn, the more that they're going to grow and the more that you're going to be able to learn. So think about like if you are trying to do a bench press and you start off with 100 pounds. In a month, you might be able to do 150 pounds. You'll be able to do that extra 50 pounds because you've been working that muscle over and over again until you're able to do 150 pounds. The same thing works with your neurons and with your dendrites. Now, as we continue our learning process, dendrites will grow closer and closer together and eventually form a contact point. Now, there is a small gap at this point, and it is called a synapse. So they don't actually touch fully like you'd think. There's a little gap there, and it's called a synapse. Now, what happens next is that there are messages sent from one neuron to another across these synapses. And these synapses can either be strong or weak. And the way to grow your synapses so that they are strong is the same way that we grow our dendrites, through practice and repetition. Let's use another great example. Let's say that you wanted to learn a new instrument. How about the piano? Well, at first you're unaware of everything but probably the keys in the piano itself. You don't know how they make music, how to strike them, or where to place your hands on the keyboard to start, playing the music. You have very weak neurons and dendrites and synapses when you first start. But let's say again, after a month of learning how to play and taking piano lessons from a professional, what you're actually doing is strengthening your neurons, your dendrites, and your synapses. And as soon as they keep growing and strengthening, you're going to learn how to play the piano. And well, after a year of taking piano lessons, you've probably mastered the piano to where you can sit down and start playing a song without even looking at the music sheet and just start rocking and rolling and having a great time. And that's where learning becomes really, really fun, is when you put the time, energy, and effort into growing and strengthening your neurons and your brain cells and your dendrites and all of that. And that's where learning can really become fun, when you start to see the payoff. And some people may take them, only a month or two to become really, really good at playing the piano. Some people it may take 5 or 6 months. Some people it may take 2 years. The point is that once you have this understanding, it's going to change how you learn, and it's going to motivate you to want to learn more because you understand the process of learning. And so if you meet failure or things don't go your way right away, you understand why. You understand that, oh, well, my dendrites and my neurons and my synapses are just not strong enough yet to have mastered this. I just need to put more time, energy, and effort into it. And so that's what I really want you to get out of this lecture. And I appreciate you spending time here with me again today on learning about yourself, how your mind and your brain works, and how you're able to change your results by learning. So thank you again for listening to me here in this lecture, and I look forward to teaching you more in our next lectures to come.